Hey, guys, I'm Arm. The anime I'm bringing today is named Beast Tamer. The protagonist of the story is a beast tamer, who is often humiliated by his companions because of his weak fighting power. When the poor tamer is driven out of the team, he meets the cat girl who helps him become stronger and turn the table. In this world, the cats, the dragons, and the gods are the top three races. Their warriors have supreme combat ability. We'll see how the tamer becomes the strongest in the world by controlling the cat girl. Those who insulted him will all get trampled underfoot. The tamer is named Rain, who was born with a strong affinity for animals and is able to use their power by signing contracts with them. He is a member of the heroes team responsible for the team's logistics. Rain believes that even though he is not good at fighting, he and his teammates are still very close. But his teammates don't think so. One day, his teammates, led by a hero, suddenly kick Rain out of the group, thinking the weak tamer is their encumbrance. Rain thinks it is a just prank until he hears their humiliation. He then realizes that they never treat him as a companion. He leaves the team with disappointment. As he wanders on the streets with no idea about what he should do in the future, children all gather around him when they see him. They all like Rain, because the members of the heroes team have always looked down on the commoners, and only Rain is willing to play with them. Rain forces himself to get energetic and plays with the children. He drives a hawk in the sky with his ability, which arouses children's amazement, though he can only control the hawk for a short time since it is not yet fully tamed. The children all express their dream to become a beast tamer like Rain to take adventures around the world. The children's words inspire Rain. He decides to become an adventurer and earn money by completing tasks. In the Adventurers Guild, he gets informed that he has to pass a test to become an adventurer. The test requires him to hunt goblins and gather specific herbs. Rain takes the test. He hunts goblins by controlling animals to find their trail. Goblins are F-rank monsters, so even though Rain is weak in fighting, he can easily defeat them. After hunting enough goblins, Rain gets ready to gather the herbs but happens to hear a girl's scream. He rushes to the sound and finds a D-class tiger monster attacking a cat girl. Rain tries to stab the killer tiger, but the dagger breaks when it touches the hard skin of the killer tiger, who notices Rain and sets him a new target. Rain shouts for the cat girl to take the opportunity to escape, but the cat girl just jumps to the sky and kicks the killer tiger to death while it is attracted to Rain. Rain didn't expect this cute young girl to have such strong power. He suddenly thinks of some rare races in the world that are born with supreme strength, and the cat girl probably belongs to one of them. At this moment, the cat girl suddenly collapses, and Rain rushes up to hold her. He hears her stomach growl and knows she is just hungry. Rain feeds the cat girl with all the food he has, and then they start to talk. The cat girl named Kanade belongs to a powerful race that is on the verge of extinction. She was tired of the boring life in the mountains, so she's been traveling around. Rain's kindness gives Kanade a favorable impression. She asks everything about him out of curiosity and gets to know Rain was thrown out from his team, which angers her. She believes Rain is a good person and should not be treated like that. But Rain forces a smile and explains that he was so weak that he could only be an encumbrance for his teammates. Kanade doesn't think so. The first time she saw him, her body developed a unique feeling, which means Rain can tame her. And the fact that few people in this world can tame the powerful race she's from proves that Rain is more powerful than he expects. To boost Rain's confidence, Kanade offers to sign a contract with him. Rain is so moved that he touches Kanade's head, but he soon realizes it's a bit abrupt. Kanade, however, enjoys his touch. At this moment, Rain thinks it may be a good idea to sign a contract with Kanade, so he agrees to her proposal by starting a magic array with his blood. Rain is connected with Kanade through a unique magical power, which means the contract is established. The same symbol appears in their hands, which is the proof of the intimacy between them. Rain looks at Kanade's bright smile and realizes that he might have gained a truly reliable partner. Rain completes the test with the help of Kanade and registers as an adventurer in the guild. A man with a scar notices Kanade belongs to a powerful race, so he invites Kanade to become his teammate but gets rejected. The man then proposed a duel directly to Rain, stating that only the strong one deserves Kanade. Rain knows Kanade will always draw others' attention. Rather than getting another provocation after avoiding this duel, Rain takes the arm wrestling challenge with the man. Unexpectedly, he defeats the man within just 1 second, which surprises even himself. Kanade proudly tells Rain that those who sign a contract with a powerful race will get super strength. Now Rain's physical strength is as powerful as hers. Kanade looks forward to their adventures around the world to complete difficult tasks and gain extraordinary fame. However, the tasks they can take now is just to collect herbs, because Rain is still an F-rank adventurer. Suddenly, they hear a scream coming from nearby and immediately rush to the sound. They see a group of bandits robbing an old man of his goods and intending to kill him. Rain asks Kanade to protect the old man, and then rushes up alone to fight with the bandits. After signing the contract with Rain, Kanade has to obey his orders. She is a little worried that Rain can't use the power he just received well. Unexpectedly, Rain does a good job and the bandits are not his match at all. Looking at Rain's heroic bearing in battle, Kanade starts to have an affection for him. After the battle, Rain reminds the old man not to travel to the wild alone. The old man helplessly explains that he has hired a few adventurers who turned out to be defeated by the bandits and fled. He asks Rain to go with him because the bandits' organization will soon come to retaliate. But Rain doesn't follow the old man. Instead, he plans to eliminate the bandits' organization with Kanade by driving the animals. Rain finds the bandits' cave where there are hundreds of bandits. Rain knows that it will be difficult to deal with so many bandits just by them too, so he devises a plan. He gathers a swarm of bees carrying toxins, intending to order them to attack the bandits. At the same time, Kanade is arranged to ask the soldiers for help in the town. When the bandits get exhausted by dealing with the bees, Rain and the soldiers can easily subdue all the bandits. Rain signs a contract with a large number of bees, which surprises Kanade. Normally, tamers can only sign contracts with beasts and are not able to command so many creatures. Rain's power makes Kanade more convinced that signing a contract with Rain was the right choice. Meanwhile, there are 3 persons fleeing around nearby, who turn out to be the adventurers leaving the old man behind. The 2 girls are respectively a magician and a priest from the hero team that Rain was in, and the brown-haired man is a beast tamer they hired. The 2 girls intended to earn pocket money by completing the task, and they did not expect to encounter bandits. They accused the tamer of dereliction of duty, believing that he should have arranged for a large number of animals to patrol the neighborhood beforehand, and then use the animals to hinder the enemies in the battle. The brown-haired man angrily accuses them of being unreasonable, as most tamers can only control 1 animal. The girls then realize that Rain, whom they despised, is actually a top tamer. They feel a little embarrassed. Although they know the loss of the battle has nothing to do with the brown-haired man, they still put all the blame for the failure on him. They even make him shut up about whatever happened today by force to keep their reputations intact. Meanwhile, Rain's plan is going well. The soldiers have been wanting to eliminate the bandits. Eventually, they capture all the bandits under Rain's guidance. Just then, several huge lizards suddenly leap out from the depths of the cave, and all of them are C-rank monsters specially bred by the bandits to deal with the intruders. Rain tells the soldiers to bring the bandits outside the cave, and that he will deal with the monsters together with Kanade. The soldiers obey his arrangement and wait outside the cave. After a fierce battle, Rain and Kanade defeat all the monsters. Seeing them uninjured, the soldiers shout their names in adoration. For the first time, Rain feels the sense of accomplishment of being recognized by so many people. He knows he could not win without Kanade's help and sincerely shows his gratitude to her. In response, Kanade shows him a sweet smile. As a reward for Rain's contribution, the Adventurer Guild upgrades him from level F to level E, along with giving him a bounty. Rain and Kanade have a big meal to treat themselves, but when night falls, they happen to find there's only 1 room left in the hotel. Rain intends to go find another hotel, but Kanade is so attracted to the room and doesn't want to leave. Wandering outside for years, Kanade rarely stays in a human hotel. The innocent cat girl has no guards, persuading Rain to stay because the bed is very comfortable. Rain insists on camping outside by himself for tonight because he thinks it's not good for a young man and a girl to stay in the same room for the whole night. At the same time, he warns Kanade to be more cautious about men. Kanade is aggrieved, explaining that she is not dumb to trust whatever man. She doesn't mind staying with Rain because she has found him a kind and honest adventurer during their adventures. Kanade's words touch Rain, so he agrees to stay, but the next second he gets speechless because Kanade shyly reminds him to turn his back when she changes her clothes. Rain is so exhausted these days that he falls asleep at once, which amuses Kanade. Because of her identity as a cat girl, she has met a lot of sinister people, which makes her disappointed in the world. Until she met Rain, did she realize there is kindness in the world. Rain treats her as a common girl and she feels happier than ever during the time they spend together. Thinking of Rain being driven out of the team, she makes up her mind to help Rain become stronger. The next few days, Rain and Kanade have a joyful time together. They often take some low-level quests, which can be easily completed with the help of Kanade. But Rain gets a difficult task today. There is a troublemaker on the bridge initiating a duel with passers-by. Only when the victory is decided will the person stops the battle. To allow people to pass the bridge freely, Rain and Kanade can only take the task. Since Kanade has been in the wild, she even takes it a novel experience when walking on the bridge. While Rain is thinking about why those passers-by who got defeated don't want to reveal the troublemaker's appearance. Just then, a red dragon falls from the sky, turning into a red-haired girl Tanya after a puff of smoke. Tanya is the troublemaker who beat up the passerby. The dragon race worships the strong, and everyone who turns 15 will have to go out to practice. Tanya, as a young girl, doesn't know where she can find a powerful opponent, so she can only start duels with every passerby to find the strong one, who can help her become stronger in the battle. Now Tanya has set her eyes on Rain and Kanade. There are fighters from the strongest races from both sides, but the dragon has a greater reputation. Tanya takes the lead and burns Kanade's tail with a long-range fire-breathing skill. Kanade gets furious and bursts our super-fast fighting power. Rain joins Kanade, but both of them get thrown to the sky by Tanya. Luckily, they have a tacit connection, dodging Tanya's flame attack by stepping on each other's feet. Rain feels Tanya's strength after the fight, and he can only win over her with his taming skill. He asks Kanade to buy him a few minutes. With absolute trust in Rain, Tanya agrees immediately. As Rain hides, Kanade and Tanya have fierce fighting again. Kanade overdrafts to stall Tanya so that Rain won't be attacked within a few minutes. Soon after, with a command of Rain, countless birds rush to Tanya. But this level of attack cannot hurt Tanya, who is ready to knock down Rain to end the battle. Unexpectedly, her legs kneel uncontrollably. It turns out that the birds born with a paralyzing effect can't hurt the enemy but can make her unable to move. Though the dragon has amazing defense ability, Tanya can't bear such a huge number of paralyzing attacks. Therefore, she can only admit defeat. Tanya thought Rain would sell her, but Rain just asks her not to attack the passersby anymore. His bright smile lights up her mood, and it is her first time meeting such a kind human. When Rain returns to the Adventurers Guild, Tanya follows him. This dragon girl is so effusive that she almost reveals her identity as the troublemaker on the bridge. Fortunately, Rain keeps trying to cover her, or Tanya would have been driven out of the town. Later on in the conversation, Rain finally knows the reason why those who were beaten by Tanya are unwilling to reveal her identity is that they feel humiliated to lose to a girl. Therefore, Tanya's identity can be hidden well. Tanya then proposes to join Rain's team, because she has treated Rain as a powerful adventurer after he defeated her. Plus she likes Rain's personality, which makes Kanade very jealous. Rain is delighted about it. It's already lucky for a lot of people to meet one fighter from the strongest races, but he has met two after he left the team. He will feel sorry to waste his luck if he doesn't let Tanya join. Rain then starts the ritual with Tanya. After a fierce flash of light, their contract is signed. As the same symbol appears on Tanya's hand, she feels strongly connected with Rain. As Rain is getting lucky enough to win a lottery, his former companions fall on a hard time. Without Rain, they are distracted to worry about the logistical supplies during adventures, nearly losing their lives in the forest. The leader intends to deceive Rain back to help them complete their task for this time, and then drive him away. Ordinary people's fields get damaged by slimes, which were given the opportunity to multiply quickly, but adventurers are reluctant to clear slimes with low payment. The kind-hearted Tamer Rain takes his two partners to start the work of clearing slimes. Kanade doesn't want to get wet by close combat with slimes, and Tanya casts fireball magic that can clear slimes from a distance, which allows her to gain the admiration of Kanade. They are like Rain's two wives who get along very well. Rain shows a new skill in this battle. He attaches a part of his soul to the bird so that he can control the bird's body to fly to the sky to find the slime's gathering place. Kanade and Tanya are very impressed with Rain's skill, which helps them find the slimes very soon. Tanya asks Rain to try attacking slimes with fireballs. Although Rain is a beast tamer rather than a magician, he can use the powerful magic of the dragon race as dragon girl Tanya signed a contract with him. The dragon and cat clan bring Rain magic power and physical strength. Rain, once very weak, has grown into a powerful warrior. Under Tanya's guidance, Rain practices fireball magic on slimes and gradually adapts to its use. After completing the commission, Rain gets paid a sum of money, all of which is eventually turned into food. Maybe the stronger someone is, the more he eats. Tanya and Kanade have a voracious appetite. Before Rain can take a bite, the plates in front of the two girls have piled up like a hill. After eating, they start to talk. Since they only know each other for a short time, Kanade and Tanya want to know more about Rain. Rain hesitates for a while, and finally talks about his life. He is from a village where tamers gathered, so he grew up to be a tamer just like others. He once had a happy family, but an accident destroyed his village, as well as his family. Hearing this, the two girls are very sad for Rain and worried about asking more. But Rain doesn't want to leave too many secrets and estrangement among companions, so he continues his story. One day when he was 12, Rain went to a place far away from the village to practice taming beasts. But when he came home at night, he found that the village was on fire. Some monsters attacked the village, and everyone was dead. Rain was the only survivor. Though he was only 12, he had to live a difficult independent life. Afterward, he met his former companions. The leader Arios invited him to join the adventure team. Rain wanted to prevent the tragedy of his village from happening again, so he agreed to join, but only to discover Arios considered him a servant to do odd jobs for the team. At this moment, Kanade holds Rain's hand. She finally figures out that the reason why Rain fought so desperately every time he encountered monsters is that the kind boy doesn't want the tragedy to happen again. Tanya also joins to encourage Rain. The two girls praise Rain and then start to curse Arios that his adventure team must have declined. Their encouraging words warm Rain's heart. For the first time, he feels the efforts he may get approved. After the conversation, they become closer to each other, which allows them to cooperate well in the next mission of crusading against the half-orcs. The bad news is that Tanya is overconfident after gaining a few victories easily. Though Rain has warned her to be more cautious a few times, Tanya doesn't really care. As a result, an accident soon happens. The half-orcs though have relatively weak combat power. They have basic intelligence, which allows them to play dead to set a trap for Tanya. Luckily, her companions give a quick reaction and save her. Seeing Rain injured, Tanya is guilty. She has never imagined that as a dragon girl, she would get her companions involved and hurt in dealing with low-level half-orcs. When Tanya is on the bridge with her mind wandering, she meets a human girl. Seeing Tanya's pale face, the little girl thinks she got hurt in the battle. Tanya again feels the kindness from humans, which she treasures a lot. But today, she ignored Rain's kindness because of her overconfidence, causing Rain to be hurt. When Rain finds Tanya, the girl is so guilty that she can't help crying. Rain comforts her that she being okay is the most important thing. Kanade runs out to give Tanya a hug, which makes the dragon feels a magical power named friendship. At night, Rain takes the two girls to the hotel. The hotel owner may be trying to help Rain fall in love, stating that there's only one room left in the hotel. Therefore, Rain has no other choice but to stay with the two girls in the same room. Tanya can't fall asleep because once she thinks of Rain, her heart will beat fast. The innocent girl vaguely realizes she might be in love with Rain, trying hard to control herself to not sleep with Rain. She tucks Rain, revealing a happy smile. After a good night's rest, they continue their adventure journey. Tanya suggests they buy a set of protective gear for Rain, since humans' physique is relatively weaker than other races. However, the nice atmosphere gets interrupted by a group of people, who turns out to be Rain's former companions. The party leader is named Arios, who is taken aback by Rain's two powerful companions. He mistakes Rain as the slave of the two girls. Upon hearing that Rain is the master of Kanade and Tanya, the whole party is shocked, but Arios soon thinks of his reason for coming to Rain. His party was in great trouble exploring the forest. They always lost in this enchanted forest. In order to explore the forest for longer, Arios proposes that Rain rejoin the party to help control the animals to explore the forest and carry supplies. Arios and his companions are so shameless. They are asking for help, but the way they ask is like they are giving Rain a handout. Rain decisively rejects them. To convince Rain, the party reveals a huge secret that deep in the forest hides a treasure called the Shield of Truth, which is essential to fight against the Demon King. If the Demon King can't be defeated, the monster army will invade the human world. As I mentioned before, Rain's hometown was destroyed by monsters, and his family died in that accident. Rain can't bear to see others suffering the same misfortune. He thinks it over for a long time, and finally agrees to join Arios' party for the sake of innocent humans. Instead of thanking Rain, the party blames him for wasting their time by hesitating for so long. Just then, Tanya and Kanade can't stand it, proposing that the party apologize for driving Rain away earlier, and Tanya asks the whole party to kneel. Though without powerful strength, the party members have high self-esteem. Arios angrily orders Rain to watch out for his two pets. The lewd man Arios becomes ruder, stating that Tanya and Kanade are playthings to sleep with Rain. He laughs at Rain for being in heat with animals, only to be punched away by Rain. Arios can't accept that he is taught a lesson by a weak Tamer, and his companions are very shocked. Rain warns Arios that whoever dares to insult Kanade and Tanya will definitely be taught a lesson by his fist. Arios then decides to put both parties into a battle to see who is qualified to teach the others. In this duel, Tanya is against the magician and priest of the party while Rain is against Arios. Kanade's opponent is the bald warrior Agath. The strong warrior Agath looks down on the skinny girl Kanade and soon pays for his arrogance. Kanade's attacks combine speed and power, suppressing Agath and never giving him a chance to fight back. Feeling humiliated, Agath counterattacks while Kanade temporarily stops attacking. But Kanade casually blocks Agath's powerful attacks, just like how easily James makes his slam dunk. Agath then decides to use all his strength to win this battle, and he only used 80% of his strength just now. However, Kanade's next words put Agath in panic. This cat girl just used only 20% of her strength, losing all his confidence. Agath is so frightened that he doesn't even make a block, getting kicked by Kanade and falling into a coma. Meanwhile, on the battlefield of Tanya, the priest Mina has both attack and auxiliary magic while the magician Lian masters more than 1,000 magics. However, by just snapping her fingers, Tanya blocks their confident attack. Mina and Lian attack again but are easily defused by Tanya. the dragon girl Tanya masters advanced magics, and she can parse which elements the enemy's magic is made of, thus using restrained elements to directly counteract the magic. Mina and Leanne don't admit defeat and keep launching more attacks, but Tanya just stands still and snaps her fingers, defusing all of Mina and Leanne's attacks, and even draining their magic. Tanya, who has the upper hand, decides to defeat her opponents with an absolute advantage to help Rain take revenge. When Tanya is about to cast the highest level of magic, dark clouds block the sky under the influence of her magic. Immediately after that, the dazzling lights pierce through the clouds, and countless magic arrays appear in the sky. Mina and Leanne, who were very proud, are now scared to the point of peeing their pants. Seeing the looming trouble, they quickly beg for mercy and apologize to Tanya, who stops casting the spell at the last moment. This kind dragon girl doesn't want to kill anyone. She just wants to scare the arrogant Mina and Leanne for Rain. In the end, Tanya also wins after Kanade. Arios and Rain are the last to duel. Arios is so stupid that until now he still takes Rain as a weak tamer. Arios obviously doesn't think, or he would have noticed that if Rain is really weak, how could he subdue powerful companions? Arios' underestimation of the enemy seems to destine his failure. Now Rain has received the additional skills of the cat tribe, so his attributes are not inferior to that of the hero Arios. Coupled with his hard training, Rain's actual combat ability has been quite strong. Another reason why Rain is destined to win is that he is more attentive than Arios. Rain has always paid attention to the fighting habits of his companions, which makes him very aware of how Arios will use his sword. Arios is unwilling to lose like that, so he decides to attack Rain by magic. As a hero, Arios is good at both physical and magical attacks. However, Arios' high-level magic is offset by Rain's low-level magic. It's because Kanade has given Rain a physical stat boost while Tanya helped Rain gain additional magical attributes. Just as Arios is about to launch a new attack, he finds himself unable to move. It turns out that Rain has controlled a nearby bee to sneak up on Arios during the fight. The bee carries a paralyzing toxin, which causes Arios to lose the game. At this moment, Arios is afraid that he will be beaten up by Rain, so he gives up the pride of the hero and tries to beg for mercy. The once mighty hero is now a loser trampled under Rain's feet. Rain and his two friends have won a perfect victory. The heroes can only admit defeat. They kneel on the ground like losers to apologize, and Rain lets go of his hatred for them. They always lost in this enchanted forest. As the problem of the demon invasion is very serious, Rain accepts the request of the hero Arios, going to the forest to get the Shield of Truth for fighting against the Demon King. The forest is too dark for them to find the way. If Rain doesn't claim that there are still innocent animals living here, Tanya would have set fire to the entire forest. Rain and his two companions start to talk about their plans to explore the forest. This treasure hunt may be very dangerous, so Rain keeps cautious, asking the two partners to be on guard while he is ready to transfer his soul to a bird as before, finding a way forward through the high-altitude vision. During Rain's absence, Tanya and Kanade vigilantly guard their master's body. After a while, Rain and the nearby birds finish their wayfinding, and his soul returns to his body to lead the way. Soon Rain discovers that something is wrong. He has confirmed the route with the birds before, but they're now lost. The anomaly arouses Tanya's suspicion, so she uses magic to detect mana fluctuations in the forest. Through Tanya's reconnaissance, they find the problem. There is a large tree being cast illusionary magic, surrounded by magic that affects their vision. That's why they keep getting lost. There is also an expansive magical field on the tree, and the easiest way to remove the magic is to destroy the tree. Just as Kanade is about to break the tree with a punch, a sound suddenly comes from inside the tree. A fairy girl, Sora, appears. The fairies, as one of the strongest races like the cat and the dragon, are better at magic than the dragon. 200 years ago, the fairies had a conflict with humans who destroyed the forest, and finally hid in a remote place to live in seclusion while having a strong hatred for humans for hundreds of years. This is confirmed in the ensuing conversation between Sora and Rain. She does not listen to any explanation from Rain, directly posing as she prepares to attack. Frightened away, Rain and his comrades have to discuss a way to move on. The fairy is so hostile to humans that Tanya believes a peaceful solution is impossible, and the best way is to make Kanade break the tree while Sora is distracted. But Rain still decides to have a clear conversation with Sora, which makes Kanade and Tanya happy because they joined Rain's team for his kindness. At the important moment of negotiation, Sora still tries to attack while Rain stays calm and just asks Sora not to attack his comrades. Rain wants to dispel the suspicions of the fairy with his sincerity, which he learned when he just became a tamer. Sora launches the first round of attack, but the kind fairy avoids all of Rain's vital parts, only grazing Rain's face. Rain's bravery and sincerity subvert Sora's perception of humans, but the centuries-old hatred between fairies and humans still keeps Sora wary. When she launches the second round of attacks, Tanya and Kanade block in front of Rain. Tanya and Kanade each state what they know about Rain, trying to prove Rain is a good guy and that they have no intention of harming the fairies. It is the first time Sora encounters the cat and the dragon speaking for a human, and even resisting the damage with their bodies to protect him. Sora hesitates for a while, and finally decides to listen to Rain's intentions. After listening to Rain's explanation, Sora finally realizes Rain and his comrades enter the forest to take the Shield of Truth against the Demon King. Sora reveals she casts illusionary magic to protect the fairies' territory, and that she cannot let Rain go further into the forest. But the good news is that the Shield of Truth has always been kept by the fairies. Sora then casts teleportation magic to get the Shield of Truth and gives it to Rain. The fairies and the previous hero have an agreement that when the human race needs to deal with the Demon King, the fairies must hand over the shield. Rain notices that Sora seems to mention the demon with anger and hatred, so instead of leaving directly after completing the task, he gently asks Sora what troubles she has. Sora keeps her mouth shut because she doesn't want to get Rain in danger. It isn't until Kanade tells Sora that their team is strong enough that Sora summons up the courage to speak out about her troubles. She has a twin sister, Luna, and both of them maintain the barrier to the fairies' realm. Because of each other's company, this dull job becomes much more interesting. But one day when they went out to run errands, they met the monster Shadow Knight. To protect Sora, Luna was caught by the monster. Rain immediately analyzes the reason for Sora's defeat. The Shadow Knight is only a C-rank monster, but his characteristic is magical immunity. That is to say, he can naturally restrain the fairies who are good at magic. The Shadow Knight threatened Sora to lower the barrier if she wanted to save Luna, but Sora was unwilling to put her compatriots in danger, so she fled back to the fairies' territory to ask the Elder for help. Unfortunately, the Elder of Fairies was too cautious and refused to send reinforcements to save Luna until the end. Rain wipes the tears from Sora's face and promises to get Luna out. At this moment, Sora throws herself into Rain's arms and cries. He takes Kanade and Tanya to the stronghold of the Shadow Knight. Rain takes the lead in launching a fireball attack, but the Shadow Knight is immune to the magic. And then Kanade starts to attack relying on the cover of Rain. With the innate strength of the cat race, she gains the upper hand. The Shadow Knight deduces from Kanade's gaze that they come to save Luna, and in a fit of rage, it decides to kill Luna. At the critical moment, Tanya blocks the blow with her dragon wings, and Luna is finally saved. Now, Rain and Kanade can put aside all their concerns to fight the Shadow Knight. They team up to launch an onslaught, but the Shadow Knight's defense and attack stats are very high, and a large area of forest is destroyed by it. So Rain comes up with a new plan. He controls the bees to interfere with the Shadow Knight's vision, and then he uses power-boosting magic on Kanade. With a dazzling light flashing on her body, Kanade feels endless power being injected into her body. Kanade then throws a powerful punch at the Shadow Knight. As its abdomen is punched out, countless red cracks appear on Shadow Knight's body, turning it into dust. Kanade is curious about how Rain acquired the power-boosting magic. Rain explains that it is a common magic he learned in his hometown, but he had been not able to use it until Tanya shared her magic power with him. Tanya points out that since power-boosting magic is very advanced, ordinary people can't acquire it at all. Just then, Luna's resuscitation interrupts the conversation. Rain sends her back to the depths of the forest, where Sora and Luna are happy to reunite. During the chat, Rain discovers that though Luna and Sora are twins, their personalities are completely different. Sora is steady while Luna likes to make jokes, and soon becomes familiar with Rain. Then the fairy sisters talk about a heavy topic. They are disappointed at the fairies who were unwilling to save Luna, but they don't know where else they can go. Rain warns them to be careful of humans and monsters outside, while the cheerful cat girl Kanade proposes to let the twins join their team. Rain worries that the conflict between the fairies and humans will trouble Sora, but in fact, his rescue has fully won the trust of the two fairies, who agree to sign a contract with Rain. But Rain soon meets another problem, as there are different ways to sign contracts with different races. He has never learned to sign a contract with a fairy. Kanade and Tanya think Rain is an excellent tamer and that there must be a way to sign a contract with fairies. Their encouragement gives Rain confidence. Rain then bites his finger to form a magic array on his palm. He is so focused on it to not disappoint the twins. Soon Rain begins the first round of attempts, which goes unexpectedly well without any accidents. Rain manages to sign the contract with the two fairies in one go. It's Rain's first time signing a contract with two at the same time. It costs so much of his energy that he almost faints, but it's worthy. If Rain collects 3 more powerful partners, he can summon the Super Dragon Ball to make a wish. The task is successfully completed, and Rain hands over the Shield of Truth to the hero Arios, who doesn't believe that the weak Tamer can complete the task that he failed. Thus Mina, the priest of Arios' team, uses magic to identify the shield, only to get a surprising result that Rain really got the Shield of Truth. Rain doesn't want to have anything to do with these people, but as he takes the pre-agreed task reward from Arios and is about to leave, Agath stops him. Despite Arios' objections, Agath wants to invite Rain back to the team, while Mina and Leanne reluctantly say they are willing to compromise and accept Rain. Their attitude annoys Rain. The heroes' party is always so conceited that they have no sense of apologizing for the past. In the end, Rain declines Agatha's invitation. What he really cares about is not the fame and wealth gained after defeating the Demon King, but the lovely and kind comrades by his side. Others of the team are just upset with Rain, but Arios has the idea of killing Rain because he can't accept that he lost to the Tamer he once despised the most. Unbeknownst to Rain, he has been targeted by Arios. When they talk in the shadow of a tree, they have a surprising discovery that in the legend many years ago, the first hero injected the blood of the gods into his body, and finally defeated the Demon King and saved mankind. The biggest difference between the hero and ordinary people is that there is no limit for the hero to strengthen his power. The more they talk, the more they feel that Rain is very similar to the hero, since he has not only signed contracts with creatures from the strongest races, but his strength also broke through the limits again and again, far beyond ordinary humans. Kanade follows suit, believing that as long as Rain finds a few more of the strongest creatures to sign contracts, he will definitely be able to fight the Demon King's army head-on. Rain's comrades all think Arios can't take the responsibility of dealing with the Demon King, and their advice makes Rain waver. He decides to think about the feasibility of dealing with the Demon King himself, which causes the morale of his partners to be high for a while. Here comes the funny part, as there's only one vacant room every time they stay in the hotel. Rain can only sleep with the 4 girls who sleep casually. Now that Rain has a pair of fairy twins in his team, he has to cover the identities of the 2 girls every day. The 2 fairy girls are very nervous in the human city, afraid that they will be taken away as pets, until they see that Tanya and Kanade can easily get along with humans. The tension in their hearts finally decreases. Just then, several human children come to chat with the fairy twins, whom they also regard as Rain's wives. Their naive appearance does not match the rumors among fairies that humans are bad. The twins gradually come to believe that there are many good humans in this world besides Rain. Soon the group arrives at the best weapons shop in town, run by a dwarf named Gantz, who gives a disagreeable first impression, so the atmosphere in the process of selecting weapons is a little tense. Only the cheerful fairy Luna is still very energetic. She suggests that Rain, a tamer, should buy whips to tame animals, and fantasizes about the impure image of them being whipped by Rain. As a result, she is severely lectured by her sister Sora. During the selection process, Rain finds that the weapons here are good-looking but not very practical. Just then, an adventurer comes to buy a weapon. He keeps showing off his wealth, so Gantz sells him a gorgeous longsword. After the adventurer left, Rain asks Gantz why the weapons here are so fashionable but not practical. Gantz laughs when he hears this question. He then reveals that the weapons laid out are all casually made, while the hidden weapons are what Gantz devoted himself to making. People now only want to pay for the most expensive weapons, regardless of the fit between the weapon and the user, and they often throw away old weapons in pursuit of new weapons that appeal to them more. Gantz has countless calluses on his hands out of crafting for years, and all the forged weapons are like his own children, so he can't allow elaborate weapons to be trampled on. That's why Gantz displays ordinary weapons to test guests, and his good weapons are only for knowledgeable adventurers like Rain. Gantz then asks Rain a question about how Rain found flaws in his weapons. Rain explains that as a tamer, he needs to observe animals frequently, so he develops a strong ability to observe. Gantz treasures the special fate between them and decides to customize a weapon for Rain. However, the problem is that there are not enough materials to forge weapons. The problem is in the mithril mine that has been passed down for generations in the Gantz family. However, there is no mithril ore out of a sudden. Generally, there is supposed to be a process for a mineral to be depleted, so Rain suspects that someone is stealing mithril ore for his own weapons, and to help Gantz, Rain takes on the task of investigating the mithril mine. When Rain and his comrades go to the Adventurers Guild to report, they hear that the hero Arios is recruiting auxiliary personnel, and there are many people rushing to sign up for fame and fortune. Rain has a good mindset and doesn't get angry at his hated one Arios doing better. Just then, the guild receptionist Natalie is curious about the identity of the fairy twins, and the playful girl Luna deliberately misleads Natalie to think that they are Rain's wives. Rain hurriedly takes out the task file to change the topic. After reporting to the guild, Rain and his party immediately set off for the mithril mine. The fairies are good at magic but have poor physical fitness, so the twins almost die when they climb the mountain. On the way, they come across a lake, where the girls decide to play in the water and rest. Kanade starts undressing in front of Rain, which frightens Rain and he quickly hides. as the girls are taking a bath in the lake. Luna and Sora stare at Kanade and Tanya the whole time, because they envy their good figures and try to ask them how to make their bodies plump. Just then, Kanade is attacked from behind, and her scream leads Rain over, but it turns out that she was just bitten by a fish. Because of this accident, Rain got glutted in his eyes. He sincerely apologizes to the girls afterwards, but the girls have always liked Rain and are not bothered at all. After that, they are back on the road. Sure enough, someone is stealing the mithril in the mine. Tanya and Kanade easily defeat the two thieves. Rain asks them to be careful, because birds in the sky are very abnormal after they show up. Rain suspects that a tamer who controls the birds in the mine has discovered them. A group of thieves are in the mithril mine, vigilant, and the tamer among them has discovered Rain and his comrades through the bird. The battle between the two parties immediately begins, with the thieves' bow and arrow attack being neutralized by the dragon girl Tanya, and the magic attack easily being blocked by the fairy twins. As for the beast tamer, he is knocked to the ground by Rain's punch. The hostile tamer then summons his secret weapon, a B-class monster raised by him. The Shadow Knight that Rain has spent a lot of time taking down is only a C level. Monsters of this level are difficult to be tamed by humans, so Rain asks his companions to transfer the captured hostages outside the mine, while he and Kanade team up to deal with the monster in the mine. Rain attracts the monster's attention, while Kanade secretly catches the beast tamer. However, this man is particularly stubborn. Even if he is caught, he still refuses to control the monster to surrender. The monster's attack will knock the mine to collapse at any time. Therefore, Rain has to risk getting close to the monster. Unexpectedly, he forcibly signs a contract with the monster in a very short time, taking control of the monster. This has never happened among beast tamers. Rain's terrifying ability has plunged the enemy into madness, who tries to seize control of the monster again, causing the monster to fall into a rage and launch an indiscriminate attack. In the end, it is Rain who breaks out his strength and kills the monster, thus saving the opponent's life. Rain is well aware that humans and monsters have a strong hostility to each other, which cannot be completely erased by simple taming, so he pays attention to the movements of monsters throughout the process. After the battle, Rain interrogates the identity of the thieves. It turns out that they all have bought weapons in Gantz's shop, and later heard from others that they had been tricked by the ordinary weapons sold by Gantz. They thus came to his mithril mine to steal the ore in retaliation. After Rain tells Gantz what happened, Gantz feels complicated. He sets a trap to punish those who despise weapons, and it is not until he is retaliated by his customers that he realizes how strong the resentment of those adventurers is. Eventually, Gantz gets inspired and encouraged by Rain, and decides to sell weapons with honesty in the future, as well as to forge every weapon carefully to avoid making defective products. Gantz is very grateful to Rain and promises to try his best to help Rain make his exclusive weapon. Rain then quietly tells Gantz about his special needs. While waiting for the weapon to be made, the protagonist's group will usher in a vacation. At night, the hero Arios has just eliminated a tamer. He wants to recruit a companion before he starts the fight with the Demon King, but all the interviewees can't compare with Rain. They can only tame one animal at a low level, such as wolves or bears. Arios has seen Rain tame the strongest species like the cat girl and the dragon girl, so he can't help looking down upon these ordinary beast tamers. As the task of defeating the Demon King has been delayed for a long time, the priest Mina persuades Arios to lower the standards for recruitment, which immediately causes Arios to be unhappy. Mina realizes that Arios' personality has changed a lot recently, so she quickly switches the topic to hold his anger. After Mina leaves, Arios mutters about making Rain disappear as he takes out an evil ring. Rain would never have expected Arios to be so narrow-minded. When he goes to the guild to report the task of the thieves, the guild's receptionist, Natalie, tells Rain that the thieves have all been stripped of their adventurers' licenses and sentenced to hard labor because of their felony of raising monsters. The fairy twins comfort the depressed Rain, while Kanade and Tanya are still sleeping in the hotel. Rain is left with only these two reliable companions. When Rain takes the two fairies for a walk, they are attracted to the street food. They've lived in the forest all year round and never tried the food of the human world, so Rain treats each of them to a hot dog. The twins are immediately captivated by the novelty and finish the hot dogs in a few large bites. Rain then agrees to treat them along with Kanade and Tanya to a big meal next time. With their appetite satisfied, the fairies chat with Rain about a serious matter. They ask if Rain has recently gained some enhancement of his abilities. Rain's physical powers have been improved by signing a contract with Kanade, and the contract with Tanya has enhanced his magic power. But after signing a contract with the fairies, there is no significant improvement in his abilities in any aspect. The twins are very disappointed by Rain's answer because they wish they can help Rain. Rain notices the two girls' disappointment, comforting them with his story. He was kicked out of the hero's party by Arios because he was too weak, but that experience did not affect Rain from becoming strong. Rain also learned that the most important thing he wants from his comrades is not to be strong, but to trust each other. The fairy twins finally get rid of their disappointment. Just then, a new accident happens. An arrogant young man with two soldiers stops them, asking for the twins' names and forcing them to be his concubines. The man is named Edgar, the son of a lord. He has a very bad reputation for often kidnapping beautiful girls as concubines. Rain repels Edgar's subordinates to protect the fairy twins. However, Edgar takes innocent civilians as hostages and threatens Rain to stop. The twins want to use magic to free the hostages, but Rain doesn't want them to reveal their identities, or the twins can't live in the human world. Suddenly, Rain comes up with a good idea. When he was fighting, he discovered that his magic was so special that he could cast multiple spells at the same time. So Rain decides to give it a try and unleashes fireballs. As a result, several fireballs appear at the same time, and all of Edgar's subordinates are knocked down as the hostages get freed. Since Rain managed to drive Edgar away, he receives thanks from the villagers. At this moment, Arios is silently watching this scene not far away with an evil smile appearing on his face. Rain doesn't know yet that this hero has become more terrifying than the monster. After returning to the hotel, the fairy twins are telling their companions about Rain's bravery, and they focus on the blessings Rain received after signing the contract with them. Because as a beast tamer, Rain can cast multiple magic in an instant, which is more powerful than many magicians who have practiced for decades. After the relaxing topic, everyone gets serious as Rain mentions Edgar's bad reputation he learned from the residents. Taking advantage of his father's identity as the Lord, Edgar seems to be in collusion with the knights sent here by the Empire. With the encouragement of his companions, Rain finally decides to deal with Edgar to rescue the girls who have been taken away. Edgar is also thinking about ways to take revenge on Rain, and he gives the knight captain Gillet a bag of gold coins. Both sides are in a state of preparedness. Rain takes the lead. He and Kanade come to the Order to report Edgar's miscreant behavior. However, the Order drives Rain away without investigating the Lord's son, which proves the rumors of collusion between the knights and Edgar. On the way back, Rain meets a girl named Stella, the vice captain of the Knights. Stella has also discovered the illegal cooperation between the Knights and the Lord's family, but she has always been unable to hold the Knights and Lord's family accountable because she has no strong companions. Encountering Rain this time gives her hope. As Rain has completed several difficult tasks before, his fame gradually spreads. Plus there is a girl from the strong cat tribe beside him. Stella pleads with Rain for help. Rain also needs someone to provide information from the Knight's Order, so he immediately cooperates with Stella. Their first plan for the battle is to throw bait to deal with the corrupt ones in the Order. At night, Gillet receives false news that there's evidence of his collusion with Edgar in the suburban warehouse. In order to prevent this criminal evidence from being discovered by Stella, Gillet immediately gathers a group of henchmen to raid the warehouse. As Gillet brings his men to the warehouse, he immediately gets a sneak attack while the fairy twins cast frost magic to seal the gate, blocking Gillet's escaping route. Elsewhere, Rain uses the new equipment provided by Gantz to launch a long-range attack, and in a short time he takes down all of Gillet's accomplices. Stella tells Gillet that her companions have captured the Knights and found evidence of Gillet's guilt. Even in such a disadvantageous situation, Gillet still refuses to surrender. Stella offers to undertake the next battle to fight one-on-one with Gillet. Stella has known Gillet since many years ago, but she doesn't know why the once simple teenager degenerated into what he is now. She turns the pity in her heart into the power of battle, and finally knocks out Gillet. Soon Edgar learns of the fall of the Knights, and he gives his full vent to anger on a slave girl. After calming down, Edgar plans to gather all the soldiers to attack Stella. That's when Arios comes to Edgar. Arios hides his identity through disguise, telling Edgar that Rain was also involved in the battle with the Order. As Arios frantically exaggerates Rain's power and his hostility towards Edgar, he also gives Edgar a strange ring, which he claims to have the power to kill Rain. Edgar seems to be influenced by the mysterious power of the ring. Laughing arrogantly, Stella brings the female knights who support her to the Lord's mansion. Along with Kanade and Tanya, they are to investigate the crime of illegal collusion between the Lord and the Order. Though Stella's group is powerful, the loyal guards of the Lord don't just let them go but call outside help instead. A big scuffle thus begins. Elsewhere, Rain and the fairy twins sneak into the Lord's mansion as their companions distract the guards' attention. When the twins use magic to probe the location of Edgar's imprisoned slaves, they sense a creature with mighty magical powers. Rain guesses it comes from one of the strongest races, but he can't be sure if the one is Edgar's slave or companion. Rain arranges for the fairy twins to free the slaves while he will explore the source of the magic power. After separating, Rain meets an imprisoned girl. He helps her cure the injuries with healing magic, gaining the girl's trust. The girl is named Nina, from another ultimate race, the demigod race. She had been living in the mountains until the day she met Edgar. The lustful man took local villagers as hostages to threaten Nina, and then put a collar on her that limits her magic power, eventually turning the god girl into his slave. Rain decides to destroy the collar to free Nina. However, the magic shock from the collar causes extreme pain on him. But Rain is no longer the weak tamer he once was. He has the blessings of his 4 powerful comrades, and finally manages to destroy the collar. As Rain successfully rescues Nina, his companions also bring the battle to an end, and the fairy twins have rescued all the slaves. As Kanade and Tanya don't have to worry about the safety of the slaves, they break through the guards' defenses and meet their comrades in the hall. When the 4 girls see Rain has rescued another girl, they start to tease how lucky Rain is in girls. At this time, the Lord is trying to flee away, but he is so unlucky that he directly bumps into the protagonist's group. An accident then occurs as soon as Rain captures him. Edgar activates the ring given by Arios, and a monster in the shape of the Grim Reaper suddenly appears to attack Rain. Standing on the rooftop and hearing the screams of the hall, Arios is confident in the power of the ring. He thinks Rain must have been dead. However, Rain is not even injured. Rain's comrades are also puzzled how he can block the attack of such a high-level magic. So Luna does an experiment to find that Rain is immune to poisonous attribute magic. It turns out that the twins brought 2 blessings to Rain. One allows Rain to cast multiple spells at the same time, and the other helps Rain to be immune to some types of magic. That's why Rain was not killed by the monster. Meanwhile, as Edgar foresees his miserable ending, fear, anger, and unwillingness fill him up. The strong negative emotions affect the ring, and a powerful force erupts in the ring, completely engulfing Edgar in an instant. Rain is the first to react and uses fire magic to attack, but it doesn't work at all. A monster full of evil aura appears in front of them. The familiar smell reminds Rain of the demon race that destroyed his hometown many years ago. Instead of attacking Rain, the high-ranking demon flies out to hunt the town's residents. Rain asks Stella to arrange for Nina and the residents to take refuge, while he takes his companions to stop the demon. The battle between the 2 sides soon begins, with Tanya, Kanade, and Rain in charge of the main attack, and the fairy twins launching high-level magic. However, these attacks are all ineffective. The high-ranking demon also summons a large number of monsters, which though are very weak and will basically be killed when attacked. The real trouble is that they can be summoned infinitely, so the situation becomes very unfavorable for Rain. Their physical strength and mana are constantly depleted, while the high-ranking demon can always remain in a peak state. A high-ranking demon is already so powerful, we can't imagine how terrifying it will be when the Demon King comes. The demon continues to summon monsters to drag Rain and his comrades. It seems it has lost patience and is ready to destroy the town. The protagonist's group then discusses a plan. The fairy twins will use teleportation magic to transfer the inhabitants, so that Rain's party can have a free hand to fight the monster army. The bad news is that after the fairy twins built the teleportation array, the residents do not believe the twins because of the sensitive relationship between humans and fairies. At the critical moment, some humans who have known the fairy twins come forward, and their trust plays a good demonstration effect. In the end, the residents are all safely transferred. Meanwhile, the priest Mina senses the aura of the demon. Both she and Agatha think they should go to check on the situation, but Arios rejects the proposal with his status as a hero. Actually, he is anxiously waiting for the news of Rain's death. Just then, a group of adventurers join the battlefield. They have fierce fight with the monsters, far more like heroes than Arios, and they are all wearing weapons and armor made by Gantz. It is this group of adventurers who help Rain buy valuable time, and Nina also joins Rain's party. The god girl naturally hates war, but in order to save innocent humans, she finally decides to fight the demon. What the god race excels at is space magic, and Rain breaks through the army of monsters to finally reach the high-ranking demon with the help of Nina, as he once again uses his special taming ability that surpasses ordinary beast tamers. Rain steals control of the monster army from the high-ranking demon. He commands the monsters to besiege the demon, and finally eliminates this powerful enemy. 3 days after the battle, the town's restoration work is completed. Stella becomes the new captain of the Knights, while the former captain and the lord who colluded with each other were escorted to the royal capital to await the verdict. Nina's village has been moved, so the god girl who has nowhere to go joins Rain's party. They are now very popular in the town and have become heroes in everyone's eyes. Nina grows to like being with Rain and others, so she offers to sign a contract with Rain. Fortunately, the ritual does not consume too much blood. Otherwise, even if Rain does not die at the hands of demons, he will eventually die because he consumes too much blood on signing contracts. The protagonist's group is notified to assemble at the Adventurers Guild, where they meet the new knight Captain Stella. This female knight is very kind, and she has reached a cooperation with the Adventurers Guild. Thus, the adventurers will assist in defending the town from the invasion of the demons in the future. Also, as Rain has defeated the A-level demon, the guild promotes him to a C-level adventurer. I was confused when I heard this decision. Rain defeated an A-level enemy. Shouldn't he be upgraded to an A-level adventurer? Anyway, Rain doesn't care about the unequal honor. Now he just wants to solve the problem of accommodation. He has been feeling embarrassed to stay in one hotel room with 5 girls. After a discussion, Rain and his comrades decide to buy a house in the town and settle down. Then, they start to look for the house. However, after visiting a few, they still can't find a decent one. Only the last one seems good in all aspects. Its drawback is that it is haunted here. When Kanade knows this is a haunted house, she immediately hugs Rain and shivers. Now that there are no extra houses to see, they can only check out the inside of the house before making a decision. Not long after they enter the house, something unusual happens. A ghost maid appears in front of them, whose body is as sexy as Tanya's, and completely superior to the several little girls of the protagonist's group. The ghost doesn't have an actual body, so she can easily dodge various attacks. She sees through Kanade's fear of ghosts, and deliberately runs to scare the cat girl. Just then, an accident occurs. As Kanade is overly frightened and loses her mind, she briefly acquires the ability to attack ghosts. The situation reverses now, and Kanade looks more like a ghost. The fairy twins seize the opportunity to cast sealing magic and temporarily trap the ghost, who then tries to attack Rain, but is controlled by him. This man is not only able to tame all kinds of creatures, but even makes the ghost subject to him. Rain finally gets a chance to have a calm conversation with the ghost, who introduces herself as Tina Holy. Her owner was a pervert who brutally murdered her 30 years ago, perhaps because she hadn't lived enough. Holy was unwilling to become a ghost and wandered around to the house where she now lives. Holy's story dispels Kanade's fear about her. After watching the first 12 episodes, I believe you also know Rain's personality. He ends up taking in Holy, who has no friends and no home, just like taking in his other comrades. In the end, Rain solves the haunting trouble and buys the house of his choice. Then, they start preparing a celebration party for moving into their new home. The joyful atmosphere at the party makes Rain can't help but think of some past events. He lost his family many years ago and became an orphan, but now that Rain has gained a new family, he is finally no longer alone, and the story of the first season comes to a happy ending. I didn't expect that Rain would expand his harem in the finale, and even the ghost of the dead can be conquered. Now, his harem has girls of cat, dragon, fairy, demigod, and ghost. I have a strong hunch that the screenwriter is building the largest harem in history. So how many wives will Rain have? Feel free to leave your answer in the comment area, and I'll reveal what other attractive female partners will appear around Rain when the second season is launched. If you like anime recaps, please subscribe to my channel, and I will post the recap video when the second season is launched. There are many other interesting recaps on my channel. Just click in and they may help you kill some of your boring time. Bye!